Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tamel Cuts, proud owner of Uppercuts Barber Shop.
Hey, this is Lonnie Horn, proud owner of world-class faders and world-class stylist barbershop and salon.
You're watching another episode, a special episode for the Culture Podcast right here on YouTube, brought to you by the United Barbers Club. We want to thank everybody for joining us and welcome to the clubhouse.
Welcome. And this is not just a live, this is for the Culture Uncut. Yes.
Uncut. Echo.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, man, this is fun. You know, what this has been to me has been, it's been like you have that main conversation. These have turned into like backroom conversation that we let everybody in on.
Yeah.
And
the fly on the wall.
You know what I'm saying? That's a good way to put it. And one thing I've really been enjoying is the people's reaction to this stuff. Because what we're learning is our leaders in the industry, they have opinions about things that are going on, and people want to hear them. So this has actually turned into a great place for people to get those things out, man. Tonight, I'm excited to hear from our guests, and I just want to see if you're ready to bring her in.
Yes, but before we do,
we got to do some things, huh?
We got to do some things. We ain't gonna get no money.
We ain't gonna get no money. We got to pay some bills, man. We got to acknowledge our sponsors and our partners, man.
Yes, indeed. Let's start this thing.
So this is a Bopper card. Someone can scan the QR code or can just tap it to the back of someone's device, click the link. Now they have instant access to all of my website links, all of my social media, and my contact card. That is Bopper.
The Tano, vetted talent now, the first platform built to let barbers show their skills, personality, and presence through video. And for shop owners, it's a game changer for hiring. No guessing, no wasted interviews, just real barbers showing real work before they walk in your shop. Every profile is ID verified. Barbers get discovered, shops build better teams. Everybody wins. The Tano, skills speak louder than words. Download now. Available on all platforms.
Barbers Illustrated magazine is the ultimate magazine for the culture, craft, and community of the barbering world. Get stories and insight from your favorite barbers from all over the world. Plus, much more you won't get anywhere else. Subscribe now at barbersillustratedmagazine.com, just $6 a month for print, or go digital for $2.99 a month. Join the movement at barbersillustratedmagazine.com.
And there you have it, man. Bills have been paid. Hopefully we will too, man. You know what I'm
talking about? Hey, thank you to everybody who's jumping in on Instagram. I know y'all still getting used to us transitioning. So definitely jump in over on YouTube and get with us, because we have a special guest that we have been chasing down, and we got her ass. So this is y'all chance to really just get some passion and some game about this industry tonight. So if you want to jump in, click the link in our bio on our IG, or go to fortheculturepodcast.com, and you will be there.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Can I give me a little? Yeah.
I'm on it. Player.
So this lady, we consider her our barber sister. She loves our platform. Our platform loves her. She is a voice for barbering, period, especially for the ladies. She has blazed many trails, blazed many stages, and I'm not talking about the state, not even the country.
No.
Across the world.
World, Craig.
She is an innovator, I mean, that's all I ever see her do is educate, innovate, and connect. And that's why we love her and respect her. When something's going on in this industry, she hits us. She's one of them voices you may not hear out loud all the time, but she is always keeping her finger on it, man. And so we're happy to have her on the platform tonight, man. She got some things to talk about. We got some things to learn about with her. We bring it to the screen the one, the only Lici the Lady Barber.
Mm, 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 mm.
You like our beat? You like our beat?
I was
Hey.
expecting for it to keep going, but I just gotta keep playing it in my head, you know?
What's up, sis? Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
How long has this interview
Oh
been
my
Ooh.
taking?
God. Hey, well, you being so damn busy,
Right,
you got us
right.
doing this on an
Oh, we got
odd day
things to
to make
do.
it
We
work.
got
Hey,
goals to accomplish and people
yes,
to
yes,
inspire and
yes.
lives to transform, you know?
Amen.
Guess what?
Amen.
Guess what? It's worth it to us.
Yes, ma'am.
It's worth it to us. Lacey, real talk, you always been pouring into us. I remember when we first met. We met. We were at was it the
We were
NorCal?
out there, yep, at
It was
NorCal at the
NorCal,
pre-party.
but it was the pre-party, yeah.
Yep.
And shout out to DC, DC. I am barbarism.
Yes.
He said,
Her
"Man,
fiance, I got the words.
okay, okay, put that thing, put a ring on it, put
Finance,
a
no
ring on
finance.
it." and y'all been a real power couple, man. It
Yes.
looks good in the industry. It's like seeing Jay-Z and Beyonce when they start making it look good. You know what I mean? Y'all make it look good. Both of y'all come sharp. Actually, y'all just got through talking
Yep.
about this. I was like, man, they both been. They like it's like y'all turned it up a notch. You know, DC come through. His locks be looking dope. He got his look on, but he's still him. And then you, but no, I mean that in a good way because sometimes we polish our image and then we kind
You
of
know that
lose.
that wasn't even my idea. That's what he wanted to do.
And see, and I said I think Lacey did it.
I did do it, but
Hey,
he wanted, and it was for a reason because people would tell him, no, you can't do that. You can't have that. Like, why would
Mm,
you mat that hair up like that? You know? And so when he made the decision to do it, it was an expression of freedom for him.
amen.
I
So
think it
it
looked tight.
wasn't a style choice. It wasn't something for him to keep up with the Joneses. It was a statement saying that this is me, this is what I'm about, this is what the life I'm stepping into, and it's my life and like back off, you know? And that's what this industry is about.
I love it. It's freedom
Speak.
of expression, right, and
Mhm.
creativity. And you're an artist. DC's an artist. He's a creative, and to me, that's a sign of it. And so I was telling T, I said, man, they've been coming. It's just you can just tell when somebody's you know, ready for that next level. Y'all both just look like y'all were already
They
on
in
it,
their
but it looked.
groove for me. They
You
are
said
in their
what? There
groove.
you
They in
go.
their
Y'all in the
groove, bro.
groove, and
You
we
guys see
acknowledge
all
it.
that from out there?
No, real talk.
No,
Well,
but
when
we
you got
see
to,
y'all though.
well, yeah, when we see you, we run into you, and you can see the graduation. So put it like this: me and Tamil, we casual, chill dudes. We always got t-shirts, people giving us t-shirts. We got Barber Love, United Barber. Look at his hat right now. I'm wearing barber gear right now, so we're comfortable there. But then we've been influenced by some of our female barber sisters like
Yes.
D Best. Um, who else? We was
Well, we
just talking
know
about
how
who?
Rick be coming.
Oh, Rick becoming fly. And so as we start getting on more stages and just having realizing we have more influence over people, we still want to be ourselves. But then sometimes it's like, hey, you being invited, you got to come and show up. And so we start coming and improving our showmanship. And so when we went to Vegas a few years ago, we did with the first time we ever dressed up, and we still was like, I don't want to wear no damn
Yeah,
tie or nothing though.
yeah.
We did our suits and we did barber pole colors, and we was like, let's just try it. Let's just do something different. Man, we couldn't even get our booth set up, Lacey. Every time Marvy Marv, Jay Majors, every time somebody walked by, they was like, "Oh, nigga, look at you!" And we knew right there that effect it really does count. So now we saw you guys, and I don't know, you just every time we seen you recently, it just looked like They tweaking. They turning it up. Y'all look good, damn it. That's
Yeah.
it. Y'all just
I
y'all
want to
look
talk
good.
about that LV show that we were at, and we had our booth and we interviewed Lici and DC, and they had me walking off my own set because
Bye.
see, because shit like that. It was they were trying to be too damn funny when I was being serious, and they made me leave my own set. Nah,
Hey,
that is one of the
I
funniest
forgot.
clips, bro. I watched it the other day and I was
Or
dying
Lucy.
laughing.
Share it, share it, share it. For people
Uh,
that don't know what you're talking about, what happened?
we was talking about me and DC. Well, we had some real serious conversations
Set
too.
the scene. We was in. We were
We,
doing.
we
We were
our
doing
interview
podcast
with
interviews
yeah
live at the LV
at
Expo,
the
y'all.
LV Expo, and then I started talking to DC about, man, you almost made me cry one time, and he said, "Well, man, what I do, man?" And I was talking about how we had him educated our show, and he was running over time, and I came in there to like see where he was at with the time, and, and he said something to me, and I was like, "Hey, what? Wait, rude." But then it wasn't his fault. It was my fault. But we was laughing about it. But then y'all kept on laughing, and this is where
It was still funny.
no, it wasn't no funny. We're done. We were done with the laughter, giggles. And I said, "Oh, okay. Are y'all done? Are we finished? Are we done? Are we finished?" And I got up, took my headphones off, left the set. DC said, "This ever happened before? This ever happened before?"
Listen, I remember. I remember. And she was like, oh, what she say? T got in his feelings. She
Yeah,
said
yeah.
something. It was hella funny. What'd you call him? She
The
was
poor
like,
little tink tink.
she
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
little.
yeah. And Lon said, "Oh, ping, ping, yeah, yeah, all of that, yeah, all of that."
She
It
was
was
on
all
the
in love, but it was
roll.
the funniest. It was the funniest clip
It was
I've
a good
seen.
moment, you
Oh,
know.
I loved it. I loved it. Yeah.
Well, we again met you at NorCal, DC. Shout out to DC. DC brought me over. He personally brought me over to you, and he said, "I want you to meet somebody." And at that time, y'all, he didn't say, "Oh, this is my fiance," or "This is my," no. He said, "I want you to meet somebody." He said, "She's a beast. She's powerful in this." And then he told you, "I want you to meet somebody." And I don't know what he said about us, but I just know he told me that. And DC and Tamel were kind of talking for a while. And then me and you was just over there, just chopping it up. And I was like, where did she come from? You, I was so impressed from that night on. I was like, Lisi's just the truth. And I was like, we need to project her in this industry as much as possible because you have the features, the characteristics, the attributes that should be modeled after, and the passion
Well
that
said.
should be modeled
Well
after.
said. Well said.
So and then ever since then we just kept getting to know each other more and more. You show appreciation for us and vice versa. So here tonight,
Here tonight.
now we know who the hell we talking to. It's been
Oh
some
yeah.
years now, and we got to get that voice on here, man. There's the ladies in this industry, it have been absolutely just skyrocketing, like really taking things over, um, opening us up to new dimensions of this. And you're one of them. You're one of them. And I think it's a time for women to, and men too, to understand more of the impact that y'all are making in this industry.
Pe-
Why do you think that's important for people to know that
So
in this
first of
male
all,
dominated industry?
let me just give my props to my baby because DC is always great at edifying me, you know, and that edification is what makes a couple really strong in both aspects. You know, when we step out to the industry, it's not it wasn't like my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my fiance this. It's like
Mm-mm.
no, barber, professional, professional. And that way, you know, there's always like a sense of professional and personal separation, even though we're a unit, but we're partners in this realm, and then we're partners, you know, behind the doors. So that's one thing when you are looking for a relationship, and especially for women in the industry, it's very difficult to even being able to
Mm.
sustain a relationship. You know, take into consideration that most of your clients are men,
Mm-hmm.
or can't handle that. You know, Back in the day, it wasn't so common to have booking apps, right? So you would give out phone numbers, things like that. There wasn't no thing, such things as boundaries, so on and so forth. But um, when I started, I had no choice but to survive. I had no choice but to like push my way in the industry. Barbering is the only thing that I had. I'm in the street. I didn't have family. I didn't have nothing, right? All I had to look forward to was my two hands and like a goal. But some of the guys made it a little bit difficult for me to just make my own bread. You know, it was one thing whether you got looked down upon or maybe you weren't as intelligent or as smart because when I was in the street, I was very like wet behind the ears. I was very rough around the edges. I didn't have that role model. I wasn't raised by parents. If I had to say anything, the industry raised me. You know, Lici back in the day was still trying to figure it out, and I'm like, bah, 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 you know, I'm going round for round. Oh, you say I can't do it? Okay, watch me. You know, and so the competitions is what gave me the platform to create a voice for myself and other women. And even stepping on to that platform was also difficult because the men would just be so aggressive in a sense. And I don't think they do that on purpose, but that's just masculine energy. And so I wanted to show other women. And at that time, my only sole purpose was girls get up here too. I wanted to show other women that look, it's not that bad. It's not as scary as it looks. It's actually like a lot of fun. You know, you beat some of those guys and then like you get to back then I used to think like that. But here's what I realized, and this goes for men and women alike. You got three different types of mentalities. You got I tried, you got I did my best, and you got do all it takes. And the I tried and do my best mentality creates the most average human beings on the
Damn. Mic drop.
and that's where all the excuses come from. Oh, I'm shy. Oh, I'm scared. No one believes in me. I don't have enough money. I don't have time. I got nobody to watch my kids. I was homeless. I was broke. I had no money. No one cared. Like none of that. You do all it takes at all times to make it happen.
Wow.
And there's just no other way. So I had to do all it took to be the voice of reason to create that pathway for other women. And I'm not going to sit here and claim that I was the only woman to do that. You know, there were other few like Lici The Lady Barber. She was in that realm with me. You know, shout out to her. I love her. That's my sis. Before me, my mentor at the time, I can't say mentor like too long, but her name is Christina Gorey. When I first laid eyes on this woman and I saw that she was already competing, she was the first woman to win Bronner Brothers, and she had a platform. I was like, you know what? She did it. I could do that. You know, and I learned a lot through that process. And I made a promise to myself. I've already made the decision in my head. I'm going to make it. When you make a decision, you think about the rest later. You already there. Everything else don't matter. It's going to happen one way or another.
Lici, real quick, what was it about her that made you say I can do that too? And it's the reason I'm asking that.
Because people say that women can't, like women don't belong in the barbering world.
Okay, that's what
women are, because I'm coming from the Spanish community. I'm Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. I like that one.
And so in my culture, we are raised to serve the men, right? In the household, the mother like serves man, and if you're a daughter also has to help mom fold clothes, do laundry, cook, clean the house, serve father, we're taught to be subservient to the men. Like, that's just how we're taught. And so imagine when you're coming in here in the culture that I was raised in, right, and what I've seen, like a woman touching a man's head is like something else, you
Mm.
know. And then also think about that, the barber shop was a place of manhood where the guys came together, you know. It was like where they found community and things like that. And now women step into that role. And so it's just, what are you doing here? What do you know what I mean? It's a lot to go into, even how women got into the barbershop. I can go into that if you'd like a little later, but eventually my journey led me to a television show. And this television show, when it was presented to me, I was going through one of the worst times in my entire life. And I had to make a decision to take a flight to Newark. I'm in Denver, because that flight was not being covered from like one weekend to the next. I had a lot of things going on. I didn't have money to buy brand new clothes. I didn't have money to do nothing. If you guys only knew, I had an outfit from Goodwill. That's
Oh
what
wow.
I TV with. Okay, that's the clothes that I won the show with.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
So,
Little
but you did
secondhand
not
down
make an
here, like,
excuse that I don't have something to wear or nothing. You
because
was
all
like,
of that
this is
is
an
superficial.
opportunity, and
You know
I'm
what?
going to
My hair look
show
good.
up.
My hair look good.
So what show is this?
Cedric's Barber Battle.
And
This was a show that was produced by Barbershop Connect, Lee Resnick, now BarberCon. Okay.
okay.
If you guys, I always tell people, you guys need to understand the history of barbering. You got to know your culture and the industry that you're stepping into, because the industry has created a lot of opportunities for minority cultures. The barber and beauty industry is one of the only ones that give you an opportunity or give you a second chance, no matter what you've been through, what
You're
you've
right.
done, who you've hurt in the past, who you've been in the past.
Yeah.
None of that.
Man.
In most cases, right, you could have been a drug dealer back in the
Yeah.
day, right? You could have gone to jail, served your time, learned your lesson, but guess what? You get out, you're not getting no real job. Like, what the hell is a real job anyway? You're not getting that standard life, right? And so if you think, just kind of like reel this all back, right? If barbering is the only industry that gave people like that an opportunity to step in, and this is what we had, what type of individuals are populating the barbershop, doing business in the barbershop?
Mm-hmm.
Also, think about when we are studying to get our license, what type of business training are we getting? Not really much, right? Because technically, when schools opened and the first board was created, it was only for sanitation purposes, infection control, and protecting the public.
Yeah.
Everything else got added later, and then they standardized it. You know,
Yeah.
that came after. But oh crap, they left me in the dark. 1 second.
Some of y'all got questions in there. I like that. I like that. We're gonna get y'all in. Please put those questions in the comments.
So when you're going to school to get this license to learn how to clean, right? And to make sure we're not making nobody sick and making sure we're not passing on skin diseases. A big one is HIV, hepatitis, because
Mhm.
we're using a razor. People don't even think that that's a real thing. And no one has to disclose that they got HIV, hepatitis, or any type of bloodborne diseases. You just got to assume it,
Yep.
right? But that's besides the point. We're not teaching in the schools how to properly run a business. What are proper business standards? What are some of the personal development that you need to have to establish yourself as a leader, right? What are some of the things that's important in running a business? These are not what's being taught. So we created that code ourselves. And the only lessons, right, or code that we live by is the code we lived by when we was in the street.
Mhm.
Right? Loyalty, honesty, respect, hustle mode. That's it. That's what we learned, and it's adjusted over the years as more barbers came forth and started injecting more seminars and classes. That's why these hair shows is important.
Amen.
You know,
Very important.
that's why it's important. After I won the TV show, I went from
Now hold on. Did you go up against men?
Yeah, I only competed against men.
Mm.
Wow.
I didn't do that on purpose.
No, I see that,
You
but
know,
man, that's a big accomplishment to be in
but
a
you
male
know what it
dominated
was? Look,
sport.
listen. It's not even. I didn't go in with the mindset like I'm gonna beat your ass. I didn't even
Mhm.
go with that mindset. I just thought it was great because the first time I walked into a barber event, it was in a club and it was music and I saw tables and I saw barbers and they had shirts on and they had their own razors and some was coming out with their own books and some had
Mm.
DVDs and
Mm.
some had like their own hats and like so this was the first time that I seen that barbers could brand
Mm.
themselves outside of cutting hair because I thought that I'm barbering this all I'm doing all day boring. But when I seen that the barbers was creating things and they were establishing a brand and they could build a career on top of what they're doing, I thought that was amazing.
I, I
You know,
I know that feeling.
I've never seen in the barber battles that I attended back in the day when it was first emerging. I didn't see corporate companies in there.
Mm.
I saw barbers in there.
Amen.
Like you, like me, like they're just starting their businesses. And barbers was supporting barbers, buying each other's shirts, buying each other's razors. They were
I
buying
love
each
that.
other's DVDs. It was the barber culture was supporting each other heavy, heavy. And then I saw the stage and I was like, oh my God, all these barbers are playing music. I was like, I like this. So now I'm looking and they're cutting hair in like 3 minutes or less.
Oh,
I was like, shut the hell up. I was like, oh my God, hair in 15. Like now, fast fade is 15 minutes. Barbers is getting soft and complaining too much. But they was doing 3 and they was
Somebody else
doing
told us
2,
that
3
too. I
and
was like,
I'm trying to
15
tell
minutes was
you,
good. It's
the
like, nah,
barbers
we used to do it
back
in
in the
8
day,
minutes.
they was not playing. They was going in there and they was getting it. You
Mm.
know, they had the duplicate. You didn't even know what the hell design you was doing. You just
mm.
I
signed
I
like
up,
that.
like that. I
gave
like
you a
that.
picture,
I
probably like
like
2
that.
minutes before you had time.
I like that.
Go for it. Uh, when I saw freestyle, that's when I was intrigued because I was an artist. Art to me was a way to escape. It was like my high.
Mm.
It kind of helped me process a lot. It was just like what I needed to do to as like my therapy. So I already knew how to draw. I painted, I sculpted, and whatnot. And I
Right.
actually taught myself how to draw on hair. And I've been practicing that for a while. I learned line work because there I also created the system and kind of like I kind of used the principles of heart of hair and design and things like that, and I applied it to hair, but only backwards. It was weird because when you're drawing and you're applying the principles of designs, you're adding,
Mm.
right? You're adding something
Yeah.
to a blank space, but
Yeah.
when you're it's like you're sculpting, so you're removing to create something, but you're sculpting negative space to create something. You're not sculpting a block to create a positive space, so
Yeah.
it's just weird. But
This
it
is
took me
this
a
is
minute
cool.
to pick that up,
That's
and
cool.
I was like, yo, I could do that, I could definitely cut better than that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna dedicate myself to competing at every battle.
Damn.
Mm.
I had no idea that at the time Exotics was doing a barber battle every month in
Damn.
a
Mm.
different
Damn.
city for that entire year. So
Every month. That's fire.
every month, New Jersey, Florida, LA, Texas, everywhere. Okay. And I was like, oh, well, damn, I made a promise to myself. I can't break promises to myself.
So you
Mm.
did
So
you do most of those?
yeah, that's how I came up so fast. Everybody, it's the industry is small.
Okay, so real quick. People that there's a people know Lici. A lot of people know who Lici is. There's some people in the audience, in the clubhouse are like, "Oh man, Lici, I love her. We'll see her October 12th." Like, babies, shout out to babies. For people who are catching this later and they're looking back and wanting to know who is this passionate firecracker person saying she's cutting hair and doing this. How long have you been cutting? Like how long?
My first client was my brother. I was like 7.
Okay, so
I
you were
took
one of the early
dad,
starters.
I took my dad's clippers and But it was funny. I'll never forget it, and I don't know what it was, but it was like, let's play barbershop. And I just took the clippers and I went ham on my brother's hair. He let it, like, and ever since then it was just kind of something that I stuck with. But my
Okay.
family didn't really we couldn't afford clothes. My mom was a drug addict. My father was an alcoholic. They were like into that lifestyle, whatnot. But I was always very creative. This was the time of like MTV videos, and
Yeah.
so I will watch a lot of music videos because music was a other aspect of like my therapy. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, that hair looks so cool. I wonder if I could do it. So I duplicate a lot of stuff. So
Smart.
would just copy styles, and then I would just practice. So I've been doing that since I was like a kid, you know.
Got you. And
Um,
no influence. Nobody cutting in the house. And I mean, your pops had the clippers there, but you didn't see anything. You just naturally picked those clippers up. Hey, let's play barbershop, and you've been building ever since then with it.
the one thing that my father always did was go to a barbershop. He went.
Okay.
I'll never forget it. Like, he always gets a number 2 and a scissor on top. That's
Wow.
like what he will always get, square lineup. And he would be the one with like the plastic comb and be like this.
Oh yeah. The slick back comb. I like the palm comb.
Piss me off, just all day in
Yeah.
the mirror like this.
She said all day in the mirror like this.
But
Okay.
I was exposed to the barbershop, and I don't know, it was just something that kind of like always intrigued me. But
With him?
I
When you were
never
exposed with
wanted,
him?
sorry.
You were exposed with your pops when he went? Okay.
He would take all of us, me and my brother and whatnot, but he would only get his hair done. Um,
Now you're traveling the country, going to
crazy.
all
I
these
never wanted
battles.
to be a barber. Doing hair was not what I actually wanted to be. A doctor. I wanted to be a
Mm,
surgeon.
Mm.
I always told myself, I don't want a job. I want a career.
mm,
I want to, yeah,
Mm.
I want to be a doctor. And that influence came, like, my parents in the negligence. I did suffer a burn injury when I was very young, 5 years old. So if you see my hand, I have like third-degree burns. I was in the hospital for, like, in and out the hospital for years on end.
Mm.
I think like maybe 9 years or so, in and out. So I was homeschooled a
Oh
lot.
wow.
That's why I was always into art. It was a very troubling like time. And I think about it now, like how bad that sucked. But I think it was like the stem or the core of like the principles that I have today. So I look at it that way. But I was homeschooled. I didn't actually get into the public school until I was like probably later in middle school, because I was always in a cast.
Mm,
And when I was finally able to go into public schools, I was dance, I was, doing art, and I got my ass beat
oh
because
wow.
I was supposed to be disabled.
Mm.
They cut that disability check, baby. Yeah,
Oh.
so it was a thing where, like, I
Mm,
was
Dang.
continuing to get surgeries so that they could continue to get the checks.
Oh,
mm,
And so
okay.
that's kind of like the background that I'm in. And that, but at 16, that's when I really honed in on the barbering. I braided at that time too, so I was braiding and I was
Okay.
barbering. But when I didn't have like the stability, I was charging like $3, $5
yeah.
haircuts, braids. That was like my hustle. And the longer I was in the street, the harder it got for me.
Mm.
Mm.
The harder it got. Stepping into the bar, I had no idea you needed a license. We're
Who
just
pushed you to do that?
to get my license.
Mhm.
Yeah. How'd you find out?
So we going in. So because I was homeless, I lived a nomadic lifestyle. So I moved around a lot. We went from like New York to Florida, from Florida to Puerto Rico to Denver, Denver to
Oh
Texas.
wow.
Um, and in hopes for a better future and to find support of my family, I moved to Puerto Rico. And I found I needed help. So I did look for resources here in the US when I was homeless to help me. And because I didn't, like, they didn't get no help. Let's just say that I didn't get the support I needed. So I left the US and I went to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I did get the resources that I was looking for. So I got some housing. I was on a waiting list. I got Medicaid. I got food stamp. I was like so embarrassed to do that, but at the same time grateful. And I always said, I'm just gonna use it right now, and I'm gonna like set up, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be forever, you know. But during that wait time, I did have to take refuge like under a bridge
Mm.
in front of a. Don't give me that look. That was the
No,
best time of my life.
it's
But
you wouldn't be
listen,
you without this.
I did have to take refuge there, but it was across the street from a beauty school, and so
Mm.
it was, if you are going to receive this help, you're gonna have to go to work or you got to go to school. And I was like, I'm gonna go to school. So I walked
Hey.
in and I applied for school. So I was able to go to school, and I went to school for my benefits. And so
Right.
that's where I got like my barber training, because it was a barber, beauty, nails, like all of that. And I got my barber and beauty training there. And that's also where I got my first taste of competition. You
Oh,
know, that was also very difficult because I was born in New York, but I'm 100% blood Puerto Rican. But because I wasn't born in the island, they always call me gringa. That's like
Mm.
you're an
yeah.
outsider. So
Outside.
it was just one of those things where like I was also bullied throughout that process. But at this time, ain't nobody could bully me worse than what I had been bullied in my own household. So I did develop like a very strong personality. I went from a very shy, meek like person, and it was a very, I feel like cosmetology school and barber school changed me and gave me the strength and the courage I needed to take responsibility and accountability for like what I was feeling. And at least I had something to look forward to.
Mm.
You know, like I gotta get this license. I gotta be able to go in here because I gotta get out of here. So it gave me hope, but it also like I stopped being angry at everyone else, and I stopped blaming everyone else for that what I was going through, and I just honed in on what I needed to get done. You
Right.
know, and so at that point it didn't matter what was going on. I'm challenging you. I've never given anyone the opportunity to talk down on me, to speak, or like I was there in your face. And like that took a lot of I had to do that at that point, because when you're alone in the street, a lot of things happen to you.
Mm.
You know, a lot of things happen to you. But I can say that I was a straight A student,
Wow.
4.0 GPA.
Man,
And
no
in Puerto
excuse.
Rico, because the schooling there, you get the practical done in a real job setting, they place you. So they placed me in a 5-star resort.
Oh, so
Whoa.
you were in like the guest service part, and so you were able to service the guests.
Whoa.
Imagine a girl from the street who's
Whoa.
Man.
in the ghetto, right? Stepping into a resort where now you're dealing with high end clientele and all of that. And my very first day walking in was a fashion show.
Damn.
It was the
Yeah.
best day of my life. I walked
God
in,
put you. Yeah. God put you in it. God was
no,
like,
I
yeah,
walked
this
in,
is what it
Dang.
is.
makeup, I'm doing updos, I'm helping the models change, nobody
Hey.
knew it. No one
Hey.
knew. And so that's kind of, I think that's where I started shifting. I want to do this. This is
Mm,
the type I want to be in this realm, you know? And
that's
so
dope.
I got my license in '09,
Okay.
and I ended up managing that salon. So I did
Oh,
learn some business from that salon, because I'm just a leader like that.
yeah.
You know, I'm in a space and I learn, I absorb, I grow, and then you know we move on from there. But that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Right.
Um, the issue is I ended up coming back to Porter. So now we're going into how I ended up to the shows, because
Yes.
you made me skip that part.
Take you back.
Back to that part. I I wasn't in the street anymore. I was in the projects of Puerto Rico, which was better than being in the street. But you hear pop, pop, pop. You know, you're hearing like you still have drugs, you got violence. My kids are going to school. They're fighting every day. I'm just
Mm,
like, oh Lord.
Mm.
Like I want better for my kids, you know. And there's also limited resources in Puerto Rico, like so it wasn't a place. So I decided to go back. I went back in the day. Trying to tell you, everybody got it easy today. We had to do a portfolio like this thick.
Mm.
We had to make a resume. We had to
Mm.
take pictures of our work. We had to get letters of recommendation. We
Wow.
had to get certifications of the classes we went to. My
man.
portfolio was thick, 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 thick. That portfolio, I still have it to this day. Okay.
Wow.
I took that portfolio with me in a bin of whatever fit in there. I had food, I had some clothes and whatnot, and I went to Denver. Don't ask me why. I just pointed to the map and my finger landed in Denver, and that's where I went.
You was moving.
And the very first day I landed, I got into a shop. And when I tell you I'm working 7 days a week, I'm working 7 days. I got nowhere to go. I ain't got a place to stay. I'm definitely not gonna be in the streets. It's cold as shit in Colorado. You ever
Yes.
been?
Yes.
You know, so I work every day, and this is where I found a lot of the resistance because
Mm.
now I'm clashing, I'm bumping heads with dudes that look down on me and
Mm,
that think that they can like speak down on me because
Yeah.
they see me as this little like this little shy thing will eat your ass if you play with me, you know. But it was hard. So I actually I had to observe my environment. I had to get to know the type of people that I was dealing with because a lot of things you can't take action without knowing where you are first.
right.
Know the people that you're surrounded. You got to know the personality types. You got to know all of these things. So what I did was I took pictures of all of my work and I would decorate my station with it because every time somebody walked in the barbershop, can she cut?
Mm, so you
You know, and
you
this was
maxed that
pre
too.
social media.
Yeah.
Pre.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about we had to really prove ourselves, this was pre color, pre all of that. Okay. My station used to be full of those photo albums. I'm talking about those old school
Yeah.
peel back.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly.
I had one for haircuts. I had one for updos. I had one, you know, and so back then they had books. I never believed in giving people pictures of other people's work to get their hair done. I give them pictures of my own work. That's
Yeah.
just always been me. Um, Instagram comes out. This is when I find out that there's barber seminars. And
Mm,
I've always taken some. I love education, but I've never seen in my entire like baby career, I've never seen a barber seminar.
mm,
I've never seen it, you know. And I was like, yo, I want to go to this. I want to learn how to do a blurry fade. I also loved Instagram because I was able to save money, so I didn't have to buy the little Kodak
Yeah.
and then go to the
Yeah.
Walgreens,
You
get it developed.
post.
you took the
Hopefully
wind
it
up.
comes out good. You know what I mean? That
That's
so
hella
I
funny.
use Instagram and I call it exactly this word for word. This is my digital portfolio.
Amen.
So I only use Instagram to post my work. So if anybody needed to see it, that's what it was. And I wanted a place where it was going to be easy for people to see my work. So I never flooded my
Yeah.
page with bullshit,
Yeah.
right?
Let me ask you this before you go. You said you went to a seminar, barber seminar. What was that very first barber seminar, and
Ay,
what
Dios
was it that you
mío.
learned?
Ay, Dios mío. Listen, I was in Denver and I saw the seminar. It was to teach how to do a portrait and how to do a blurry fade.
Hmm.
Okay. Back then, barbers form barber groups like gangs. So you had this barber group and you had that barber group and had that. It was barber groups. Now it's like a couple here and there.
Yeah.
But if you wasn't a part of a group, you wasn't a part of nothing, right? And so I went to San Diego. Here's the messed up thing. Like when you have a vision in your head and when you have a place where you know you want to go, people are always going to criticize what you're doing because they have limited vision.
Yeah.
And it took me a really long time to be able to separate the fact that my level of perception lives up here and most people's is down here. So a lot of times when people give me shit, it's not relevant to me. So it doesn't affect me. But I did get like, why are you going out here spending all that money? You ain't even got a place to live. Da, 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 this and that. Can't even afford a cup of ramen noodle soup. You know, like what you gonna do with them kids? And I got all of it.
Damn.
And unless you was giving me a blanket and a can of Chef Boyardee, I really didn't want to hear what you had to say. You know, I still did whatever I was always that person. So I flew to San Diego. I did invest about $800 to go. And I sat there and I watched this group teach it. It wasn't, for me, it wasn't worth $800.
I couldn't wait to hear what you got from. Okay, I got you.
It wasn't worth. It would have been better. Well, I'm gonna say this. The class in itself and the investment, if I'm just picturing for the class, it wasn't worth that.
Okay.
And I did get upset because of that. Cause I'm like, damn, I just spent all this money. You're like, what the fuck I'm taking back? You know, like, well, how is this gonna help me? Like, I feel like I already knew all of this. Like, and I did share that. And I did propose a challenge. And I
on
did
Instagram. All this was on Instagram.
I did say, you know what? Let's do I'll challenge any one of your barbers to a battle.
Oh.
Since you're teaching how to do portraits, I'm gonna do a portrait. You could pick a barber to do a portrait. You post it on your page and let your followers vote.
You was out here.
But you know why I did that? Back then, to get a shout out on social media, you have to draw blood.
I believe it.
Nowadays, collab, tag, share, this, that. That was not a thing back in the day at all. Let me tell you, no one was sharing your shit at all unless you were somebody. It was that cutthroat. So for me to be able to do that, I was like, I'm getting something out of my investment. Can I be honest with you? I ain't never done a portrait in my damn life. But it didn't look hard.
Hey,
it didn't look hard, you know. But
you wasn't gonna try. You wasn't gonna do your best.
Like people are so afraid to fail that they get nowhere. That is the one reason why people stay stagnant. Because what if I messed up, or what if I don't win, or what if you do?
Yeah.
Fear of failing.
You know, so I've never been that person to be afraid of anything, like nothing. When you have gone through the worst, everything else is trivial. So I'm like, yo, let's do this. And after the fact and all that, like, I ended up winning. You know, I was like, yo, that's crazy. And the group took me in. The group took me in and I learned a lot. I actually got invited to that very first event through them.
Wow.
Through them. And I learned a lot. So I came up on the era of the Celebrity Barber team with Mark Marrero. It was Papito Bless Hands, Marcus Hatch, A-Rod, Los Cuddy.
Wow.
That's the group that I grew up in. And those are the people that I learned from. Right. And like I said, when I stepped up and I went into that show, I was like, yo, this is crazy. I had no idea, you know. But if I would have used my excuse, like, I can't spend no money because I don't got a
Mm-hmm.
place to live. I can't go nowhere. Like, I can't do this. Or also, if you don't speak up, if you feel something here, say something,
Man.
because you have no idea what doors is going to open. Like, people think doors shut, but that's like, that shut door means something.
Yeah.
And people don't get that. People don't understand how to leverage shows. I
Mhm.
say this all the time. You want to blame the shows for you not getting shit out of it? That's your own damn fault.
Man.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
the
all you. It's all you.
Have you thrown an event?
Mhm.
Have you done it? Do you know everything that goes into putting a show together?
No,
The
I
time it
did.
takes, the investment it takes, the purpose, the really all of that. It's hard. And
Very.
all of the shows right now, let me tell you something. The barbers didn't have a place, not their own. The very first, the first teams that was doing anything in the barber industry was the exotics team, because Kurt had his own product line, and
Mhm.
he had his team that was showcasing at Bronner Brothers. DC could tell you all about this.
He
Mhm.
was
He
telling
probably
me
could tell you
about
a
it
lot more
yesterday.
than I could.
Yeah.
You have Major League Barbers
Yeah, throwing the barber battles.
also doing their thing at the Bronner Brothers. You know what I mean? Those were like the two main ones. And then he started the round table. It just started like these little things, like little events, created a community
Yeah.
of men to come together and like, yo, okay, we need to like we need more representation. We need a place for
Mm-hmm.
us. Like, how can we grow? These companies ain't listening to us. Like, what are we doing? So if they're not listening, then we create it. And so the as best from the to the best of my knowledge, the first barber battle, and it wasn't the first because there's others like in Texas and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
the first barber battle, I believe, was like sometime in 2007, or one of the first in 2007, and all the major players was a part of it. Jay Majors was a part of it.
Mhm.
He was the promoter. If I'm not mistaken, he probably was the one behind it. Um, Curtis Smith, which is the Exotics. Lee was also a part of that,
Mhm.
right? Major League Barbers. They were all together doing
Yeah.
this. And so that one event drew, I believe, like over 600 people.
Mm.
And that's when they realized, yo, there is a platform for here. And it started like, okay, we're going to do our thing. So they started creating a platform solely for barbers. Solely for barbers. And that's so important because it's difficult to do. Barbering is not respected. If anybody ever asks what you're doing, they're like, you just cut hair. Maybe so,
Who
right?
fault do you think that is?
Say that again.
Who fault do you think that is?
Whose fault do I think it is? So,
Because there's a couple of theories. There's a couple of theories that barbers didn't take it serious. They treated it like a hustle.
but it's also stylists that get that too. So you can't solely blame barbers.
Okay.
Right? Because I have both licenses. I work as a cosmetologist. I also work as a barber. I work as a braider, a natural hair specialist. I've worked with production and TV. I've worked all of that. Like, and a lot of them undercut our budget. It has
Mhm.
nothing to do with being a barber and not respect. It's the industry in itself, because hair is a luxury, right? They
Yeah.
consider that as like they don't see that as something that you have to invest a lot of time to study in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it takes, and the problem is that when you go to barber school, when you go to barber school, and when you go to cosmetology school, and you skip by the science of learning hair, and you skip by the
Mm.
anatomy and physiology, and you skip by the chemistry, and you skip by all of the science part of it, how the hell are you going to know to apply or recommend products? How do you know like what products is going to how does it affect the body? How does it affect the skin? It's not knowing the skin to recognize diseases. No, products is chemicals affect our body. How do we use this? We have a lot of our clients that walk in, and the first thing they ask, my hair is dry, I'm losing my hair, I got dandruff, I don't know what to do, I'm itchy, this and that. And 99% of the time it's going to be the diet and the products that you're using, the
Mm-hmm.
shampoo that you're using, the hard water in your shower, right?
Mm.
The wax in your conditioner, the fancy products with the perfumes and the high alcohols and the alkaline products that dry out your hair, petroleum, right? Those petrochemicals, that shit don't
Oh,
come out
yes.
of your hair. That don't come out of your hair. In order for that to come out of your hair, you got to strip your hair out with a high sulfate shampoo.
Mm.
Mm.
And what you're doing back, you're putting conditioner back and slathering it with wax, repeating
Mm.
that same cycle over and over and over again, suffocating your follicle, reducing the fact that your body can create amino acids. And what is the
Mm.
building blocks of protein? Amino acids. That's what hair is made out of.
Mm.
Now, 90% of barbers don't know this.
They don't study
No, no.
the science of hair, skin, and nails.
You need a
Everybody
YouTube channel now. You need to start one.
wants to go in and cut. No one even really understands the geometry of cutting hair.
No.
Mm-mm.
Talk about a graduation being 45 degrees. A graduation is from 1 to 89 degrees. You got a high graduation, you got a heavy graduation. Which one applies to what? We don't take our studies seriously.
Mm. That answer
And
to the next question. That's who did it, T.
when the community goes into these barbershops and get mediocre haircuts and don't get solutions provided to their challenges they're having,
Mm.
that's why we're not respected as an industry.
And to be honest, with you talking about that, that is a lot of profit left on the table because selling
Man.
product is the biggest part of it. You can sell product to your clients that need the things that you know they need. You can make money on that.
Yeah, but the biggest problem is that people they don't understand business either, because the products that they have in their freaking station, the clients could get at the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Product knowledge. Product
Makes that
knowledge.
make sense?
And no, it makes a lot of sense. And you answered the question he had. He was, sometimes we'll ask a question because we've seen it pop up a few times in other interviews, and it's really cool and enlightening to get another perspective on it. So, and you said something
Add in
real
the dark
similar.
again.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah, she went dark.
This
Chicken
thing has
hair.
no timer.
So you went yeah, somebody else we were just in the conversation with today just touched on that, and he's a big influencer barber as well, and I just think that's real interesting. He said the same thing. um Now the power of the women in this beauty industry, it's kind of interesting to hear how you got to experience that whole can she cut, and you had your portfolio to make sure, look, bro, you ain't gotta ask can I cut, go look at my work right here. So you've experienced this, you've been cutting hair since 7. You've seen the transition in the barbering game. You've seen women now get a lot of respect in the barbering game.
Different today.
Yes, way different. But I think you're the perfect person to help people that are coming into this industry. Two people that are coming into this industry, and like you said, need to know your history. Who won't know it, who won't have any way to know it unless they watch something like Lici, the Lady Barber's interview, or those barbers who were like me, got in for survival, got in for financial reasons, um, and well, actually, no. My original start was kind of like you, just pick the clippers up organically. But later on, it was like, okay, I got into it not knowing any of the history. So it was to start hustling. It was to start making some other money. It was to do something legit. And it saved me in that sense. But I didn't know none of this stuff. I didn't know any of this. The things we get to learn on this podcast, I'm telling you, Lisi, sometimes people think we so advanced. They like, oh, financial mail. They pulling out all, and we be like, damn, wasn't that
But
crazy
you
to,
guys
to
are
learn that?
involved.
Well, no, and we
Mhm.
appreciate that, but and we know we've definitely received that. But what I'm saying is, now help us share with those two level of barbers, the new one and the one who got in like I did and just didn't know about history, how did that woman
So
roles grow so much? Like what happened?
let's talk history for a second. Let's just go back, right? Because we don't know where we're going if we don't know where we've been, and we definitely won't respect the movement if we don't get a clear grasp of it either, right? Barbershops came out, right? It was predominantly men in the shops, and it was women at home taking care of the house, raising the kids. That's how it was until the war, like World War II.
No.
When the soldiers, like when the men got drafted away, and this not only in barbering, this is in every industry.
Everything. Them women
Okay,
had
I'm not
took over.
speaking specific to
Right.
the barber industry, right? But when the men got drafted away to war, it only left predominantly women to take over the work, right? The work environment.
Yeah.
So women stepped into the shops. Women were doing construction. They were in,
They were
you
building
know,
airplanes. They was doing everything.
all of this. Women held it down. Okay,
They
held it down.
always do though.
Yes, y'all did. Yes, right, right.
And
T.
amongst that, we still didn't have rights to vote. We still really weren't
Mhm.
allowed to like educate ourselves, and there was a lot of things, right, that came a lot of that. We had some groups that protested against this, and all these other stuff that came along, like women's rights and whatnot. When the men came back, then that's kind of like when things started to get a little bit. Things got a little muddied right
Because they
here.
like that. It was the men. The men are like, all right, we back. We need move out the way. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and so it left some of the women, like if you go back and just kind of do a little bit of research, especially like the women's groups that was formulated, that's kind of like where the women's suffrage movement kind of came in and all that, like women's rights, right to vote, study, everything, right? So that's kind of like where that came in. So it did show that women were more than capable
yeah.
of taking care of things out in the work field, right?
Right.
Now, when it pertains to barbering, from where I can only speak from my perspective when I was interjected and, when I was kind of immersed in the environment, I was not welcomed into the environment.
Mm.
Guys are always testing each other's nuts already.
Hmm.
You
Guys
ain't
with
lying.
guys, you know what I mean? So imagine like a female, and so what I've always received, I'm either getting hit on or I'm getting like spoken down on, you
Mm.
know? And so those are the two things. You're either getting one or the other or a combination of both. And you have to know how to
Mhm.
navigate that in the industry where there's a lot of men. And so if you are not strong and confident in your own skin as a woman, and if you're not observant and you don't pay attention and you don't go in with a purpose and a goal, like everywhere I go, there has to be an outcome.
Mm.
Mm.
If I go to the show, this is what I'm getting out of this event. If I go here, this is the reason I'm going. Like you have to go. If you're going somewhere to go meet up and hook up with people and do that, guess what? That's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going somewhere with the pretension to go fight and be mean and rude to other people, that's what's going to happen. So you have to, number one, be very well educated, read books, like practice, get that skill set up, get your self-confidence up. Personal development is a big one. I feel like everybody lacks in that space, and we need more personal development seminars in our barber industry.
Yes, I
Because
Amen.
that's
agree.
like what's
Agree.
lacking, right? So you have to have that confidence when you're stepping into the room. You cannot be weak and you cannot be timid, but you also don't want to be rude, and you don't want to be a bitch. Like you just don't want to do that. You just have to know how to match energies and things like that. When women were there, and to be honest, like women hold down the industry. Most of the schools are ran by women
Mm.
and are in the barbershops. They just never really stepped into the industry or do shows. But I got coined Lady Barber. I got coined. I didn't call myself Lady Barber. I
They
didn't call
called you.
myself
They
female
called you the
barber.
Lady Barber.
I didn't call myself female barber, and I actually took that in because Christina Gorey actually founded the Lady Barber.
Club.
You know what I mean?
Was it club? I think it was club.
Lady Barbers Club, and I was like, yeah, I'm all for this. Let's unite and do all this and whatnot. Um, but the term female barber did not come from a woman.
Mm.
So I find it very interested that it's the men that have a problem with the term female barber.
Mm.
I help it make sense.
Interesting.
I also find it very interested that not a lot of women have a problem saying female barber, and it's the
We're
men that
noticing that.
female barber. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Unless you there, women go through real problems. Like
Yeah.
there's challenges. You got women that are single moms. You got women in relationship that go through domestic abuse. That's very common.
Mm.
And most women won't tell you that. Okay. That go through domestic abuse and challenges solely because she's a barber in a barber shop and she needs to handle clients and she can't because that's a whole nother story. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? There's a whole plethora of things. So when a man, right, or when some of the barbers out there are saying she is not a female barber, she is a barber. Duh, we know that. Why do you have a problem? But I also want to embrace my femininity.
Amen.
I
Mm.
know women want to embrace that femininity because the path a man walks through, it's not like the path of a black man is different of a white man, right? The path of a woman is different from, like, the path of everything is different. So the path for women is different, whether it's in the barber industry, whether it's in the finance industry, whether it's in the law industry, like health, right? It doesn't matter. The path for women is different. And so when women succeed, we're proud to be women. So damn it, let me just call myself Lady Barber if I fucking feel like it.
Amen.
That's just what it is. And I'm so sorry for cursing, but I'm very
No,
passionate
Oh
no,
no.
because
we
it's just
appreciate
one
your
of those things.
passion.
The second thing I want to say is that we did have support by our men, and to make it easy to in support for women to compete in these battles, because we understand that not all women is a Lici, not all women is a Karina, not all women is a Christina Gori, right? Not all women have that masculine personality, right? That can stand toe to toe and like love it, like you get adrenaline out of it. You have women that are still shy and timid and meek and probably are still overcoming some mental challenges and trying to find a breakthrough. So they created a lady barber competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I thought that was a beautiful thing because it opened up a space for the women to say, welcome. The men was like, welcome, come, we want you to. And then it just turned out to be some other thing. Like, well, why do the women gotta be separated from the men? Da, da, da. I was like, well, you're not seeing the bigger picture here. The same people that are saying why the women gotta be separated, have you had real conversations with these women?
Mm-hmm.
Have you like sat and talked about like what are the real mental health issues with these women? Have you sat there like what are you doing to inspire these women to compete instead of like looking everything with a negative mindset? Why not embrace that? Lady Barber competitions has created more opportunities for women in this industry, and I thank everyone who created Lady Barber competition to pave that way. Do I believe that women need to be separated? No. Would I ever compete against a woman? No. Would I stop another woman from battling in a lady barber competition? No. Come
Mm-hmm.
on, sis. I'll judge it. Like. But there's a place for everybody. And I feel like when you start looking at things with negativity, that's what causes division. That's when you don't see the bigger picture. Lead with love.
Amen.
Lead by example. Stop poisoning the minds of our future generation. Stop poisoning the minds of everyone in this industry with your own propaganda. It's not right. You know what I mean?
I hear
Let
you.
me say something about that real quick. It's really cool to hear from an actual lady barber, especially one who takes pride in being, considered a lady barber. What I get from some of them, I can't speak for everybody, but we've had a guest who corrected us, like, I will not call them lady barbers, and and in his defense, what we took from it is he thought he was honoring you guys more, and and more protecting. He was like, don't separate them. They got skills too. They shouldn't have to be uh, demeaned and brought down to a lady barber or something separate. They have earned their right at the table to
Who
be
says that that's being
barbers.
brought down though?
Well, certain people
So
see
that's what well
things.
this is what I'm getting to. I'm saying I think the intention is a good intention, but that they can probably be enlightened by hearing your breakdown of it is what I'm saying. I think it would be different if they were like, "Oh, you
Totally.
ain't nothing but a lady barber." You know what I mean? That would be a demeaning way to say it. He feels that people are calling you guys this because you haven't earned the right to be at the table and be. They feel you're not an actual barber on that level. We know better. We got a Karina, the lady barber, barber says. We got a Lici the barber says. We got a Brandy Lachey barber doll that's beastie with these clippers, man. And like, don't even play with them. It don't matter who it is. Man, lady is no competition. So we get it, but I think it's really enlightening to hear from your mouth that hold on, we appreciate it, but we actually earned this title and we wear it proudly. So I'm actually gonna take a clip of this, and I am gonna send
I'll
it
say
to
this.
him. I ain't even said his name. Jamel know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're
I'm gonna
talking
send
about.
I'm gonna send the
I know
clip
everything.
to
I know
him.
everything. God,
You
God.
guys
I'm gonna
think
say
that like I'm not I don't be involved a lot in social media, but I pay attention to everything.
yeah,
You know, but
but
here's
just
what I will say.
remember it was a positive thing though. He was
Of
he
course,
was
it's
he
a
he
positive.
was he was in a big brother protective mode. Like stop calling them that. They're one of us. But I think it would be enlightening for him to hear that clip of how you just broke it down.
If someone would ask me, "What do you do?" I'm a barber. That's what I am. My license
Yeah,
is barber. I'm very clear of that. But if my name is Lici Lady Barber, the lady is a title. It's like a class. You
yeah.
know, it's kind of
Yeah.
like that entitlement so that you understand the journey that I've walked through to reach the successes in this perspective.
Mm.
You know? And that's all that it is. You know, and I know the intention is always good and it comes from a place of love and it comes from a place of support, but
Mm.
sometimes when you want to be too supportive you're actually hurting on another side without really understanding, or unintentionally. But absolutely, I'm not Lady Barber. I'll never say that. My name is Lici Lady Barber. I also, on another aspect, is lady barbers are being sought out. There's a lot of clients that will prefer to get services by women. You know, back then, men would run from women. Now,
Mhm.
now they're requesting it. So
I see that too.
having that female barber in that title also helps for marketing purposes.
Get it.
Just a classification. It's also a business mindset. You know, I'm not saying that we were able to make it in this industry or be successful in this industry by ourselves, because we can't do nothing by ourselves. Anyone who says I did it all by myself is a liar. We need a team, we need a support system. Like I could tell you right now, I would not be where I'm at today had I not have, or even continue, if I don't have the support of my fiance. Like DC is my rock. He holds me down. He's supportive. He's always there. Vice versa. You know, I was out in London when we he found me in London, by the way. I came from London.
Day.
That's hey,
Uh,
that boy go. That's a
yeah,
hunter.
when
Compton hunting.
energy
DC
was
got
trapped.
them Compton hunting skills. He not bound by his city. He's like, I got
Nah.
to get out of here and find me something valuable.
Just so
Uh,
you know, like also the other thing too, I've been hearing like I guess like the concern now is like, well, why isn't black, why don't we have enough black representation in our events? I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily true, and the reasons behind people, or the reasons behind why people say there isn't, all of it makes sense. There's like bar black barbers don't want to invest in themselves. They don't believe in it. You have another one saying hair shows like rob other people and this and that and blah blah. All of it. All of it is just like a combination. But guess what? All of that is negativity from this person, negativity from another person, negativity from that person, that just confuses the industry even more. So if you the real thing that matters here is that when the founders of Barber Battles, whom I consider Curtis Smith, Jay Majors, Lee Resnick, Nuri West, right? At least those right there. When they pulled us away and gave us an identity away from the cosmetology events and away from the trade shows and gave us an identity, that's
mhm,
all that they needed to do.
mm,
And the bigger the platform and the more sponsorship we get, the more we gotta step up.
Mm.
I with that.
If you go to an event and you don't get nothing out of it, it's because you didn't do your homework.
Go ahead.
It's
Ooh.
because you didn't work the event. You probably never even handed out a business card.
Mm.
You
Mm,
probably never even collected a business card. You probably never even shook hand with the vendors.
Right.
People go to barber battles and they think that going solely to the competitions is what it's about. Bruh,
mhm,
when I was competing, this is what I learned early on. The vendors will give me shit for free. Hey, here, you can have this. Just use it on stage. I like free stuff. Cool. I'm using it on stage. Cameras going by, and camera. I'm like, oh shit, there's the camera.
I start using this stuff. I use stuff.
I get
Yeah.
off stage. Hey, come on. You want to come showcase at our booth? Yeah, that's fun. Come. Now I'm cutting hair at their booth.
Yeah.
mm,
I I didn't know that they use me for product placement
mm,
to go into this camera in a commercial, like
Mhm.
in their videos. And then I also didn't know that I was providing free labor for them to showcase their
Mhm.
stuff. I just thought I had a great opportunity,
Yeah.
you know. And then it went from there, and they started inviting me to attend little shows, to the big expos. The people that are going to give you the opportunities are the vendors, are
Somebody
the
said that too.
companies.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not going to be the celebrity barbers. It's not
Right.
going to be the judges. It's not going to be those Instagram famous people. Most of them kind of only are pretty self centered. And I'm just being 100%
Wait,
honest.
most of who is pretty
Some
self-centered.
Most of
of all of our
most
friends.
of the
No.
barbers, most of the barbers, right, that have the big, huge platform that don't give into the community by
Mm.
participating in the events
Mhm,
are
Yes.
self-centered individuals that will not give you an opportunity or chance for growth.
Mm.
and
That's
and
just
I,
what it
I
is.
and I just wanted to clarify that, and I hear you. I definitely hear you, and we've heard that from a lot of people. That's why I wanted to get a little clarity. And this goes to just like the fact that there are black barbers that go to the events, even
Yeah.
though there's a topic of them not going to the events. We know that that's not 100% true, and it's the same with these barber relationships. We we do have some people that are even in some of our circles where we have to kind of tame them and teach them a little bit about opportunities in relationship building because again we don't mention names
Guess
but
what? That's a class.
we've seen one right we've seen one particular celebrity barber that we are we love and everything, and is achieving a lot, approach another one who has achieved a whole lot, and just kind of went at it with a, hey, just follow me, do this, do that, and not even realizing this person is so beyond that. It's like, let's see who we really are as people. And so we've had the opportunity to help some of them kind of just understand the bigger opportunity in their moments. It's not all about your image and your you somebody else seeing you and following you. That's your chance to connect with another resource, which takes me to my other point of there is value in building those relationships with vendors, but also the influencers, the celebrity barbers, because when you get past the rough ones that, like you said, are self-centered, there's some beautiful ones out there. There's some Brandy Lachey's, there's some DJ Cuttits, there's some Frank the Barbers, who are to us celebrities. We love these guys, but
Those are
man,
all
when I
indicators.
tell you that opportunities come through them, we got DJ on stage at Dallas BarberCon during our platform time with Booksy, and that was our way to introduce him to our group. You know what I mean? So we have found those circles where we all like pull each other. We reached out to DJ. DJ's got us in touch with somebody else that we needed to, so there's value in it. I think when you go to these events, you have to just look for, like you said, for one, hit them vendors for sure.
Oh,
But
that's
then two,
smart.
yeah, that was super
The,
game.
the
But then
second point
two,
is the
tap
class.
into
Mm.
resourceful people though.
Yes. And so that's why I said, if they're not pouring back into the industry,
There you
these
go.
are the ones that are not going to be giving you those opportunities.
Yeah.
Most of these, and if you just observe,
Mm-hmm.
those that don't really tap into the industry have a lot of negativity. And it just
Mm-hmm.
spreads that way. And that's really not the case. Now, are there barbers that like say, oh, why do I do this? Why do I do that? Like, why should I? Like, it's all this and it's all that. There's opportunity for growth everywhere. But you know what? There's positives and negatives to everything in the entire world, no matter
For
what
Yep.
sure.
it
For
is.
sure.
So when you go to these events, find those jewels
Amen.
and do the research. Who's doing the classes? Who's going to be there? If there is competition, who's judging it? If
That's a
that's
big
you, I
one.
want to know who's judging this. Some
Yeah.
of them don't even take the time to read the rules of the event.
Oh yeah.
Man. Oh,
But
that's a big one. Yeah.
just so you know, like most of these barbers that are there, they're either their their main concern is that they want an opportunity, they want some sort of affiliation, whether it's an ambassadorship, or whether they want to be an educator, or whether they want to be a platform artist. All of these things can be the way that you approach these is through the companies, and not any company. If you really do your research, you find out what companies sponsor events,
Mm.
right? Not the small companies. Like, who is sponsoring? What companies is attending most of these shows? Where can I go? Have I tried? Have you gone to them and like tried, bought their product, tried it? Then tag them. Hey, I was at the show. I bought this product. Do a dope video. Tag them, hashtag, do all of that. That's how you get your way in. That's how
Smart.
you get your foot in the door. But you got to plan and you got to strategize that thing. The opportunity is always going to be there. The problem is not the industry, the problem is us.
It's
Mm.
us.
Mm.
It's
I
us.
gotta. I
Now
gotta. Go ahead, T. I
I
got
was
a
just
question.
gonna switch
Me too.
lanes. I won't make a left one here.
I
You
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll
go
save
ahead. Go
mine.
ahead.
I'll save mine.
Before I switch lanes, go ahead,
Okay.
Lon.
All right. So and we're switching two lanes. Then we're getting way
What
away from
you
it.
you can't switch a lane and
I'm
then
not. I'm
I'm gonna
done with
switch a
that.
lane.
I'm done with
Okay.
that. I was switching lanes at the same time you were switching. I
Well
could
then
wait
let
for
me
you.
switch mine. Let me
Switch,
switch mine.
switch, and then I'm gonna
Get back
switch
in the
mine.
car. Put your seatbelts
I'm
on, man.
listening.
All right. So you're a part of a big brand, and it's natural hair products. how did you get involved with that brand? And then tell us about the brand, about the person behind the brand, and why is that something that we as barbers and stylists and braiders and locticians all need this in their life?
So I have a very sensitive immune system.
Mm.
I'm very allergic to a lot. I actually have to take a couple allergy pills a day, and I have to watch what I eat. I have to watch what I use. I suffer from a
Okay.
lot of inflammation. I have like eye sensitivities. That's why you see me with my sunglasses a lot,
Mm.
and when I didn't realize that this was a challenge until I left the States and I lived in London for a while.
Mm.
And I was in London for a few years and I was like the healthiest I've ever been.
Oh man.
I didn't have as much health issues when I was out there. And I also represented a major brand when I made the switch there. And I had to leave the brand because some of their products were illegal in the UK.
Damn.
And I was like, illegal? Illegal? Like it's illegal? Like you could go to jail for using this?
Mm.
you know? So to me, I was like stunned. So now I'm diving in. I'm like, why is it illegal? What's in it that makes it illegal? What's going on? And
Right.
so this is when I realized, that there's chemicals and there's like ingredients that the UK bans from
Mm.
cosmetics and also our food. Like if you do your research, and I've done this, if you look at the list of ingredients of certain foods that they have like overseas versus American brands, like the list is like this, and American, it's like
Yes.
it's the same brand.
I've
Yes.
heard that.
Why is the US
Yes.
like this
Yes.
and Europe, UK is like this? Like if you have access to this, why can't we just have that?
Exactly.
And I realized I wasn't like I said, I wasn't getting that inflammation and whatnot. And then I came back to the States. I was sick as a dog. I
Mm.
was so bad. It took me a few months to like regulate myself back. Like
Mm.
getting used to the food has been still a challenge to this day. And then the products that I was working with, like I have like scars on my hands because of the inflammation I would get from products just touching me. Simple products
Ah,
like pomade, and imagine I'm a barber and I work with hair, like shampoos would like
yeah.
me
Man, right.
out. And so and everything I was trying to find a product that wouldn't do this, and I knew it was tied to that. And I actually found Pure O at the ABS show because I needed to do DC's hair. And I'm like, yo, let's try that. They have natural products, so let's try it, And so I got my hands on some of their product and I was like, yo, just give me whatever you got, da, da, da. And so I started testing their products. So the thing is, like when I first walked up to their booth, I walked in because Pure O be just like they be in the zone. Well, I forgot what I even went there for. I just was like, okay, DJ. And then the owner was like, yo, come here. and she's like, yo, she a barber. I was like, yeah, I'm a barber. I do this, da, da, da. And so we just vibe from day one. And
That's
I'm like,
cool.
I need some product. I gotta do my boyfriend's hair. At the time we wasn't like, engaged, but so I just got some product and I realized like when I touched the product,
Hmm.
nothing happened.
Mm.
Mm.
I didn't have
That's
my
a big deal.
it's like I'm used to it. Like I'm used to touching product and I have to and I can't really wear gloves a lot because sometimes the gloves also irritate me. So it's just like it's
Right.
bad. And then when I realized that I wasn't getting the inflammation, I was like, I want one of everything. I'm like, you know what? I want I want one of everything and let me test it for like 6 months because that's the time frame you have to test products. If you guys didn't know, it takes 6 months for your body to get rid of something
Oh
and
snap.
then acclimate to something else. So I went into testing mode with myself, with DC, my clients, and the first thing that I remember is like there was a drastic change in the health of the hair. I noticed less inflammation with some of my clients that had a psoriasis of the scalp, that had eczema of the skin, that suffer from, skin conditions in the face. And I just saw like it bettering. I've also noticed like the hair growth a little bit thicker. So these are things that I'm noting, but my
Mhm.
clients are noting too. And the most important thing, I'm not getting a reaction from it.
That's dope.
And when I did my research, because that's what I do, I'm like a nerd. So that's another fun fact about me.
Yeah,
I
you don't get straight A's not being a nerd.
I love to read and I love to research and I love the science. I love science. Is like one of my favorite subjects. And I'm reading the ingredients and then I'm reading like all of the entire line in itself is based off of vitamins, nutrients, antioxidants, amino acids, right? Anti-inflammatory properties that is all drawn from natural ingredients.
Mm.
Nothing has chemicals in it, nothing has formaldehyde, there's no petrochemicals there, there's no parabens is what most cosmetics and food companies use to preserve um, their products and also to keep bacteria from growing. So she actually used natural preservatives. It's all pH balance. The very first ingredient in all the products except for one, which is New Brain, is aloe vera juice.
Mm.
So aloe vera, if you guys don't know, you know, the science of hair, skin, and nails has the same pH as hair and skin. So it's pH balance. So it keeps that cuticle shut. It keeps everything good, but it also has its healing properties. So it's not even water, it's aloe vera, you know. Then there's like different butters and oils and whatnot. But she also goes a step further, right? And she has it patent to where there's 20 nanotechnology where all of the ingredients is broken down into nanometers so that it can be absorbed to the cellular level. So that way the roots, right, the hair bulb is getting the nutrients that it needs. If you guys didn't know, most like products that is used topically can't be absorbed too far into the skin. Only medicinal products can be absorbed. So that
Mm.
technology in itself allows it, it allows it to absorb down, because the focus is not to coat the hair. The focus is not only in the hair shaft, the focus is the scalp and it's the hair root. So you're getting that holistic hair care. Now, there's no alcohols in there too. Alcohol raises the pH of hair, skin, and nails. And so when you raise the pH, you put it in an alkaline state. When it's in an alkaline state, the hair is a little bit more fragile. It's weakened. It's dry. It oxidizes faster. Um, and so this is another reason why you don't see fragrance in there, because fragrance is attributed to alcohol.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's amazing because I helped lead the barber department for the company in introducing the concept of holistic hair and skincare for men. Now, when you look at the product in itself, it looks bland. But what makes the product company unique is that it is eco certified. And eco certified means that everything from how the from the bottles, the packaging to the farms and how everything is grown is all ethically sourced with no pesticides, no nothing. Everything is like super
Wow.
organic and it's certified that. So if you see any companies that say they're organic but they don't have that certification, they're not truly organic.
Mm.
So
That's
the
gang.
only fragrance that you get out of the products is the ingredients that, you know, Mother Nature itself makes.
You sound like Dr. Sebi right now.
Man,
um,
Hey, you had breaking
so
down
much
that
game.
pH balance and alkaline.
Right.
I'm like, oh man, can I eat this stuff? Can I
it's
eat it?
it's important. It's very vitamin rich. So what you'll see in the
Uh-huh.
men's line is very high in vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin B12, QCO10. There's amino acids, and all of these is derived from different fruits,
Uh,
trees, bark. You
Can we
know,
back up because you said men's line? Now I've been to the booths and I was picking up product for my loctician, for my braider. I had no idea y'all got stuff for men. What are some of the products you have that we can use as barbers in our barbershops?
so There's a beard line. I,
Mm.
I actually use some of the Puro into the men's line too. So I kind of like curated a special package for barbers. Um, but some of the products that make the men's line unique is the foaming beard wash. So
Mm.
a
I want it.
two-in-one shampoo and conditioner
I want it.
that's in the face. And so you
Yeah.
can actually do a facial with it. You can actually clean the whole face with it. You can do a beard shampoo in the chair. You don't even need to take them to the sink or anything.
You mean I can do a complete, let's say, 15-minute facial. It's not going to dry out. It's going to keep the moisture, and I can complete a whole facial. Okay,
Mhm.
I need that.
There's a
That's
skin
pretty
and beard
good.
moisturizer that I actually use as a shave cream also.
I need that too.
Very rich in vitamins. So if you have someone who has like very sensitive skin, that'll like clear up the skin in a couple of
Mm.
days.
Mm.
So there's also a beard balm. The beard balm also again rich in vitamins. There's four butters in there. There it has a very light fixative, so you can use that for the beard, but it doesn't leave your skin or your beard oily because it doesn't sit on top of the skin. It absorbs in. So when you like a few minutes, you're like, oh damn, it's like super clean. There's a mink shine oil. So I like this product especially because I can tell the babies, the barbers, stop using that olive oil sheen spray. You're seriously
Mm.
spraying silicone liquid plastic on the barbers, and that actually is what aggravates the clogging of the pores.
Whoa.
So it can cause over oily scalp because now your sebaceous glands is working hard to like breathe. It can cause um, increase in fungus, so that's where your dandruff will
Dandruff.
stay.
Yeah.
You're trying to shampoo that silicone out, and unless you're using a high alkaline shampoo, it's still stuck there. So what you'll experience is that over time the hair gets thinner and thinner and thinner because you haven't released it from the locks of the silicone. So
Mm.
the mink shine spray is like pure oils. It's mainly sunflower seed oil, there's avocado oil, blackberry oil.
It sounds like I can cook with this stuff.
It's like it's dope because it
Man.
the free radicals. It also protects against the UVs. It's a very environmental component. So you get the high shine, but you're also not clogging your face. You know, you're not clogging the hair. So you get that Rick Ross type of shine.
Let's go.
So those are one of my favorite ones. And then you have the firm home pomade, also organic. There's a honeybee beeswax on there, and
Mm.
that's what kind of gives it the whole. But it's also combined with by castor oil and other butters in there that gives it that balance. So you get a natural shine, but you get a good hold in it without like making your hair feel sticky or hard or whatnot.
Okay.
You know. Um, so the entire thing it works so that you're catering to your skin and your hair from the inside out as opposed from the outside in.
Outside in.
I like
And
that.
this is kind of like the difference and where barbers lose it when it comes to working with this product. Because if you don't understand how to read the fabric of the hair, and let's say that hair is highly compromised, because it's organic and it's made to take care of the hair from within, if it absorbs in, it don't feel like there's nothing in the hair. You're like, oh, this product ain't working. So you have to know how to utilize the product, how much to do, how to cocktail it with other things, and that's where that training comes in.
And where does a barber go get that kind of training
Yeah.
from?
You know, we go to you, you come to us.
Oh, okay. You do it because I'm like, man, I think I need this training.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like
it's
next
very
level.
important because a lot of the challenges that we see in the shop could simply be changed by simply changing the product line you're using,
Mm.
getting rid of some of what they're using on a daily basis. So
Dang.
think about the cycle. The shampoos that is, they probably don't even know what they're using. They're using whatever's in the shower, or they're probably using the same thing that they're washing their body to wash their hair and their face. I have no idea, but it's usually high in sulfate, so it's going to severely dry the hair and the scalp, right? Then which also severely dries the skin. So now that's where that dandruff comes into play. If you're using Head and Shoulders, you're actually going to make it worse.
Mm.
You're making it worse, unless you're going back in there and following up with a very hydrating shampoo and conditioning process. Okay.
Is this product good on all
It's
types
for
of?
all types of hair because it's natural and organic.
Yeah.
But the product was actually inspired. I'm gonna go into the origins of the product line. Okay.
Let's do that.
Yes.
The origins of the product line is the owner is a Nigerian woman, and she migrated from Nigeria to the States. And she couldn't find any product to take care of her baby's hair.
Mm.
And she started developing her own cocktail of things so that she could take care of her daughter. But her daughter would like get a lot of rashes,
Mm.
she'd break out all over her face. And she finally did create this amazing product, right? And she wanted to share this product with everyone. So she actually heard about these hair shows. She would go to the events, try to get a booth. No one would give her an opportunity for a booth.
Mm.
And she really couldn't understand like why, whatnot. So it actually led her to creating small sample size products. And so she would go to the Bronner Brothers, right? And she would just give away, here, just try it. Let me know what you think. Here, just try it. Let me know what you think. And when the baby was big enough, the baby was doing it too with her.
Mm.
Um, and then eventually she got to a point where she was able to get a small little booth, and it was her and her daughters running the booth.
That's dope.
Like the daughter, I think at the first time, from what I remember, if I remember correctly, I think she was like 12, 13 years old, helping, and
That's
then
dope.
just growing. It's a family business for sure. But think of the odds. We got a woman, immigrant, also Black,
Man.
created something because there wasn't nothing,
Hmm.
looked for an opportunity, no one would give it to her, created her own way,
Man.
made a way for herself.
Made a way.
She didn't make excuses, she made a way. I admire this woman so much. She made a way for herself instead of making excuses. Take note of that. And the growth was slow. She started developing more products. The team got bigger, got bigger, got bigger. And now today, she is the founder of Hair Education Beauty Summit, one of the biggest platforms. Like, it's amazing because she has platforms for barbers, braiders, estheticians, nail techs,
Wow.
stylists, celebrities go here doing panel discussion.
Wow.
I believe in her. It's gonna come back.
Oh, I thought you was froze too.
Nah.
I'm wait for both of y'all to come back.
Nah. I believe in her. It's gonna come back. We're gonna send her this picture right here though.
I
Let
like
me get my
y'all.
phone and
Y'all
take a
froze.
picture of this one right here. I'm gonna send it to her. She gonna like that.
You know, her phone might have died though. She might not have been paying attention to her battery.
Right.
Her
Sometimes you get
phone
so
might be
passionate,
dead.
you
Oh,
being in that
it
battery
gets
die.
me. Oh, I be
This-
so hot.
When you
So
you do that
hot.
sometime?
Yeah, man.
You do that?
I be
I thought you
forgetting
was
that
too
I
on
didn't
point to
charge
do
my
that.
battery. And
Me
then
too. I done it, and I'd be like, "Damn, how did I not see the warnings?"
yeah.
Hey, everybody in the clubhouse, man, we appreciate y'all. The questions, the comments, man. We definitely gotta, make sure that the lady barbers know that they are respected in this game. So it's fire to hear even the men and ladies, but definitely to hear the men just giving props to her dropping this game. You know damn well we ain't know this stuff.
Bruh,
She took us to school right here.
she made me realize that we don't take this as serious as we should.
Man, right?
Because this before you say anything, Miss or Mrs. With
Almost misses.
the stylists, right? They take this part serious. They
Yeah.
do this stuff.
Yeah.
They know about hair health and all that. We just
Yeah.
cut hair, give them what they want, send them out the door, put the same pomade in everybody hair.
Yeah.
Uh, but what she just woke my game up to is we got to do more. We got to do better.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to do better as barbers.
You know,
That's
Every
it.
all
time we
you
get
need to
somebody
do.
that don't that on that drops game like that, it makes me feel that way too. T. I be
Yeah.
like, damn,
Mhm.
why don't we know this? And but you have to push to go to a higher level in your lane in your field.
It's
As you
not
said.
the lack of resources, though. It's a lack of resourcefulness. Because all
Mhm.
these
Ooh,
barbers got to do is open up their barber book.
damn.
It's
You
there.
tell me all that was in my book?
I
All
like
that was in
I'm
I
not
my
like the
making
book.
this
self
up. It's there.
accountability.
You
T.
know what? I got my lady at the shop because one of my barbers just passed the state board. I'm finna start reading my lady, bro.
Trying to tell you,
Man.
it makes it really the
I'm finna
basics.
do it.
The reason you know the science is because we manipulate the effect of hair. We help better the conditions of hair, but how do we know what we're doing if we don't understand the technology behind
Mm,
some of the way these manufacturers are producing things? This is another reason why it's important for us to go to the shows so that we can get updated with the
yes.
technology and what they're doing. Their technology and science and cosmetics is evolving all the time. It's not the same that it used to be.
Mm,
So if you the purpose of these trade shows is so that you can better your business,
Mm,
mm.
so that
point
you can
blank.
raise your value, so that you can now alter, right, and elevate your business plan and offer more to your clients. And if you don't get nothing out of a hair show, then you're just not paying attention, and you're not strategizing the way that you need to. So
Dang.
look, with with the CEO of Puro, no one wanted to give her an opportunity for a booth, and now you got people reaching out to me to get to her to sponsor their events.
Mm,
You got a lot of people reaching out to her, say, "Hey, come sponsor, come sponsor, come sponsor." So just look at like how far the company has grown,
Yes.
defeated all the odds, and didn't come with no excuses.
no
Amen.
excuses.
You
That's
know,
the part
she's a
that
very calculated
impresses me the
individual.
most.
She is very smart and very intelligent. She gives everybody an opportunity because she also understands what it takes to be successful. You
Yes.
know, and that's just what it is. I think that if we all just stop making excuses for ourselves, like we get places, and we get a lot farther than what we think.
I
I
love it.
agree. I agree.
I love it.
And I think you've been hearing this topic go around, and I could tell you stay in the background. You go handle business, but you know what you know, and so I appreciate the fact that you were like, no, we're not gonna skip over that. I need to make sure that I speak my piece on that as well. We making we're not being resourceful ourselves. It's right there. We'll Google, we'll chat, we'll do everything for everything else. I'm pretty sure all that info is right there.
Because think about it. What can you control?
Yourself.
You?
Can only control you.
Yep.
Say it every
What
day.
is the definition of a leader?
Uh-oh.
Somebody that
Influence.
go ahead.
Influence.
Mm.
Influence.
A leader has the
Influence.
ability to influence.
Mm,
Amen.
So if you are a leader and you assess, I'm not saying that what people's opinions, I'm not saying that they're not true. Let's give them the benefit of the, like, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say it is. So what?
Hmm.
What you gonna do about it?
mm,
And okay, now what? That's my response to it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those opinions are not coming from a full circle, like fledged. You don't know all the details, all the perks. You don't know all the information,
mm-hmm.
but your experience is real. What you feel is real. I'm not
I
Right.
like
taking
that.
that away from you.
I like
Me
that.
You
too.
know, like I'm not taking that away. But just because you feel some type of way, don't mean you gotta force your feelings on everybody else
Yeah.
and try to
Mm,
change a whole freaking industry and say this shit don't work.
Yeah.
That's not the answer. That's
mm,
not leadership.
Mm.
That's not forward focused movement. So if
Okay.
this is the problem, what we doing about it ourselves?
Exactly. And that's the reason why when we do these interviews, and especially with those hot button topics, we like to end like, okay, so what's our solution for it?
Solution.
It's
And
Yeah.
no one
not
can give you one.
no
Well,
because we have
nobody
we
could
have
give
a
you. Nobody
couple.
could give you only. Nobody can give you the solution that's
Yeah,
going to fix
the
everything.
solution,
But
but they
everybody
have
can pitch
ideas
in
and
on
suggestions.
solutions
Yes,
that can be implemented to help. You know
just
what I
like
mean?
the different reasons people weren't showing up is their own reasons. But we just had a panel of five or six different
Who
black
show
men
up at all of
from
them?
every aspect of a expo, from a vendor to an educator to someone to go and get educated to somebody that goes and competes to somebody that throws these type of events. All their different
Love that. Thank you for
ideas.
that. I have all those perspectives because I
Mhm.
was one who was a competitive barber. I was one who was an educator. Okay. I put shows together for 4 years in a row. I've helped people put shows together. So I understand that. I am now working on the vendor side where I'm talking to these shows
Yeah,
and doing the sponsorship deals and getting the team ready and doing the shipments and all the hard work it is for you to get a team and set up a booth in the first place. So I
yeah,
understand that concept too.
Hmm.
So I come from all four perspectives. And so when you talk about barbers trying to chime in on what the issue is, when you talk about like, unless you understand the full scope, it is not cheap, number one, to put an event together. And
Hell no.
you don't make money off of selling tickets.
Mm.
So if you think that these barber shows are making money off your little $100 ticket, that shit ain't what it is, okay? The money comes from the support of the sponsors and the support of the vendors.
yes,
Hmm.
indeed.
And if the vendors don't get some kind of return of investment,
Investment.
whether it's on some sort of marketing or some sort of support in that aspect or selling of their product, this is why you start seeing less and less vendors come,
Yep.
Mhm.
because the relationship between the shows and the vendors are not there.
In
That
line.
communication right there has to make sense so that the experience for the end user makes sense.
Yes.
So while you're over here complaining about we don't got this and we don't got that, the vendors that are supporting the show so that you have something to experience, you guys don't support the vendors.
Mm.
Mm.
You guys are not spending money. You guys are not taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's one aspect of it. And that's just it's like go you want to go, even if you was to make your own product, because barbers that are talking all this don't have anything to sell. You know,
Mm.
when you start having something tangible to sell and you want to grow, this is when you're going to start to understand this aspect of what it is to step into the industry.
Yeah.
How much is it for a booth? How much is it to ship products? How much
Man.
product do I need to ship if I ship like pallets? All of that. You guys have no idea how big of a team do I need to take? I gotta fly them out. I gotta buy their hotel. I gotta pay them a day rate. I gotta plan all this. All of that comes into play when we're talking about what the experience of a hair show is for a vendor and for a sponsor. So it goes like back and forth on both ends. That's why I said do your homework. Now, in cosmetology shows, in hair shows, these girls coming in here looking for the deals. I came looking for
You right. You
the
right. I took my wife to premiere. She was looking for the
because they
they
know
were
who's gonna be
looking.
there. They already know their
You
schedule
right.
of
You
like
right.
this.
Mm.
I'm gonna this time is this class, this time
You
is that class.
right.
Their itinerary is already put. So I've also heard like, well, barber educators should be getting paid more because in cosmetology events they pay this. The market in the cosmetology world is not the same as in the barber world. And if the
Mm.
barbers don't pour into the market, how the hell are we gonna pay the barbers to pour in? The value don't make sense.
Yeah.
Damn.
But that made sense. What you
Yeah,
just
it
said.
made hella sense.
That made
But that's
sense.
the way she broke it down with the men versus the women.
Yeah.
It made me think we got some bigger issues here because that just remind me of shopping, like how women shop opposed to a man. A
Bruh.
woman's going in
Why do
there
you think? Check this
reading
out. Yeah,
stuff that they
I'm about to
already
blow your
know.
mind. I'm gonna blow your mind. Why do you think The whole purpose of having barber events was to separate barbers. Why are we putting braiders in?
Mm,
Why are we doing makeup and hairstyling?
mm.
Why are we adding all these back into barber events? Because women are the ones that spend the money.
You're
Mm.
right. You're right.
Business. No one understands the business aspect of the industry. No one gets it.
Yeah, and you know what?
So,
To
unless
prove your point, at a barber event, I don't see many bags walking around
no,
with a
they
bunch
won't
of
buy
stuff
you
in it.
your. You know when they come to you at the end, you give them some
Yeah,
free.
you what you got? What you get? But I go to one of these hair shows,
I saw you.
they go first for the bag. They want the
Man,
bag.
right.
Oh,
Whatever
And they
bag
want to
that
get them
is,
specials
they
before
want
they
that
gone.
bag
I'm
first.
gonna tell you
Then they're gonna
another
fill
thing.
that thing up.
I'm gonna tell you another thing, and another thing. It's not even that barbers don't got money.
Oh
No,
no.
they got money.
It's not even that barbers don't. It's not even the barbers don't got money. It's where they put the value of their money.
Mm.
Some of the shows, that I've been to.
So did she turn it?
God, the God sister.
There's some girls. There's some girls. They get on the stage and they do a dance competition and all that. And then the money shows up, and they're like, "Hey, how much money we gonna see for these women to shake their ass on the stage?" And then all the
Mm.
money all of a sudden shows up. This actually happened in an event, by the way.
Damn.
And you got,
Mm.
shaky, 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 shaky. Oh, okay, I know you guys got more money than that. And I'm just there like, do they got more money? I'm just watching this. Do they got more money? Like $50 to like 200 to 800, damn near almost $1,000 in less than 5.
Damn.
Everybody like, I got here, I got here, I got here. At a barber event.
What?
And so I'm like, so y'all do got money.
Yeah.
You guys don't support the vendors, but to see that
Something
that
that
wasn't
you
really
can't even
necessary.
take home, not even
Wasn't even
tangible.
necessary, and what's not. It's not about that at an event. So, God, you see what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
problems in every aspect.
yeah, yeah.
So where's the mindset at?
Mm,
Where's the mindset at? Like, what happened after that? It was 15 minutes so that you could see what you saw, and then what?
mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I actually got up on that stage and I did say something,
Good.
because what are we doing? And this is what gives people probable cause to talk shit. What are we doing as the industry to prioritize this as opposed to prioritize the reason we have this platform in the first place?
Mm,
You know what I mean? And it all goes back to morals. It goes back to principles. It goes back to values. And I'm not talking about what's right or wrong. I'm talking about what's right for business. And I blame the lack of professional education and the lack of personal development in the school.
mm.
While we're prioritizing how many times we need to do a roller set, we should prioritize how many hours we need to give you for professional development, for the longevity of your business.
It's so funny. I've been talking about that a lot. When me and Lon go around to educate, we don't do demos. We talk about how to build a successful business because both of us got 2 successful businesses. And I always ask this question: out of 100%, how much of it is the haircut? How much of it is the professionalism? And there's times I get 50-50 and I be like, nah. But there's a lot of times that people do recognize that it's more the professionalism than it is the haircut, but it's not being taught nowhere. You would think, and I tell them, okay, y'all know that, but you're in school and you all working to give out the best haircut and be the best barber and stylist. You got to work as hard to start practicing the professionalism, welcoming people, saying goodbye to people, and talking to people, and treating every client as you would if you was in the shop, as if you were treating yourself. So that needs to be taught. But how do you get that into the curriculum when the curriculum is all set to pass the state board?
That's the problem, because the legislation is cutting back on our hours and our licenses. The
Yes,
school system
yes,
almost is limited to what they're able to teach.
yes.
So I'm not blaming the schools. I'm blaming the system, and it's
Mm.
done. It's done on purpose.
Hmm.
We went from 1,500 hours to 1,000 hours. They're trying to cut it down to
Man.
8. You know what I mean? You know what it
Mm.
is to take down 500 hours? That's our professional development right there.
Yeah.
Man,
You know,
you
and so
right.
the responsibility now becomes on us to create supplemental education.
Yeah.
And while we're over here showing people how to angle a clipper and do a haircut, we should be showing some other things, because everybody is they're cutting good like nowadays. You know,
Yeah.
they have
Right.
resources
Right.
where, like, right now, if you're on stage cutting a haircut, they criticizing you. So we gotta raise the standard value of what, for
Dang.
real. That's just what it is. Like, I've seen it happen.
Dang.
So it's like, what you teaching me, you know? And that's the other thing that some of these manufacturers don't understand, or some of these companies don't understand what's really going on in the market, and how the industry is shifting, and how the talent is soaring. So it's not enough for you to hire, right, just any educator to try to sell your product through education, through
Mm.
platform and whatnot. There has to be something else of substance on there.
Yeah.
And it's more so on the professional side. The business aspect is like, what are we doing with our money? Are we saving money?
Yeah.
Do we understand how money works? Have we set up our business properly? Have we created an exit plan? Because when we go to school, we're like, oh, yeah, the first thing we want to do is open up a barbershop. Beautiful. How are we going to do that? And then what are we going to do 20 years later?
Mm.
Mm.
No one talks about it. Figure it out.
But now we have you.
You
Man.
know, and I've worked it, and I've worked it, and you know, barbers don't know that there's things in place to where you can set up your future.
Mm.
There's things in place to where you can have stability and certain insurances in place. They just don't know that. They don't understand the simple rules and goals of money. They don't understand what it takes to build generational wealth. They don't understand, because we're so conditioned to think that every day has to be a hustle.
Yeah.
Everything has to be, I got to do this and that and that and that and that, because we are thinking of paying off a debt, or paying off a bill, or doing this. We go to school all these years. Before we can even learn any skill, we have to borrow money that we don't have for a
Yep.
trade that we have no idea guarantees us a specific amount of money. That's a what
Yep.
if, maybe.
Yep.
You know, and then by the time we do get our license, we still don't know how to do our job yet, but we got to pay all this money back. You know, and so now we're trying to open up a business on top of that, not knowing how we pay taxes on the money that we make, not knowing what type of benefits you can have. How are you going to have barber retention? Because right now that's the number one problem in all the barbershops. Barbers jumping ship, or barbers thinking they know everything because they think they can make more money by doing their own thing. Let me tell you something. Everybody always starts off as an employee.
Mm.
You limit your time, you limit your money, but you got somebody telling you what to do. Then you have a passion, you want to learn how to do something, so you go off and you do your own thing. Yeah, you're gonna make more money, but you're also gonna put in a lot more time, because now you're
Mm.
responsible for how this thing works.
Yep.
And you think you have a business, but you just really self-employed.
Mm.
And unless you can walk away from that job and that should keep making you money, you are not, you do not own a business. The business owns you.
Amen.
That is the concept of understanding how you rely, or you dependent on your own two hands to make money, and trying to shift from that, like people making money and having the money work for you, or understanding the concept of multi-handed income. How do you build a system so that this machine can keep running by itself? That's when you're able to scale. That's when you're able to do that. You can open one barbershop, but if it's not running right, how are you going to open up a second one?
Second one.
And
Yes.
if you can even develop the system, but if the people don't follow the system,
That's true.
Man.
so then what is the skill set that you need to really be an entrepreneur? Is know how to lead people, know how
Yep.
to manage people, know you have to be able to run a people business. It's
Where we
hard
in?
to do. You have to take on personal development, and there's a lot of personal development seminars. People will spend all this money to go to concerts and clubbing and this and that, but they won't
Mm.
spend some money to go to a personal development seminar.
This is a good point or a good time for them to for you to tell us the business that they need to come to and get
Yes.
all this information that you just told us about, because so far I think that's the only place they're gonna get this.
It felt like we supposed to been charging for all of that right there.
Yeah,
She
she's
she done just
charging.
game. She done
Let's
gave
go.
everybody game tonight, free game.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
do they
I'm
get in
just
contact with you to be able to
so
seek your advice?
I have looked into, because I'm hitting 20 years in this, and my kids are grown. Like my hustle and my why was my children. I had to make money so that I can get them to adulthood. And thank God, my oldest, he's doing real estate. He's doing good.
hey.
My youngest, you guys met him. He's in
Yeah.
his barbering and whatnot. And then my daughter, she's military. She's going. They're
Nice.
shipping her to Japan. Like my kids are set. And now I'm in a position where I want to retire with my baby. I don't want to keep freaking working another 20 years. And I never really sat and thought, like, what the hell am I doing? Like,
Mm.
if I don't have nothing in place and I can't keep working because I do have health conditions, like, and that's the thing that nobody really, you don't really need to say a lot, but you do have other things that you have to rely on to in case you can't work. And I'm just like, well, what am I going to do? And that's a scary thing. And so when I came across I came across a financial advisor through a community service that I was doing, and we were doing interviews for the youth. So we were interviewing them as if they were, getting hired.
Right. Yeah.
And so I saw her presentation and I did my presentation, and I was like, excuse me, I need to talk to you. Because everything that you said is what I need. Because, like I said, I don't want to continue to have to cut hair until I'm old. I'll go get my nails done and I see the old, I'm like, damn, like I don't want to be that old cutting. Or if I can't cut, do I want to go back to a school and teach? I don't want to have to do that either. I want to be able, like, I've worked hard. I've traveled the world. I've done amazing things. I've established businesses, both now. I've helped other companies build their business. Like, there's a time where I want to step back. And that was a really scary moment for me. And when I sat with her and I went through this educational process, I'm like, everybody needs to know this. So I actually went through and I got licensed in some places. I've been studying finances and whatnot, and finding ways to apply some of the financial literacy in the industry that I love so much. And so the goal is to help barbers, right, set up their financial home properly. Understanding, number one, saving is important. If you are not saving money, how are you going to build wealth? We're in a mindset where we are in a spending like lifestyle, and you're working hard to give it away to somebody else.
Yep.
Mm.
But you won't work hard to pay yourself. And it's crazy how when I come across some people and I'm like, well, put some money away so that it can sit and grow, interest here and da da da. Well, I can't. Like, I don't have. What do you mean? That money is yours. And then when you do save money, you need to know what you're doing with it. How does compounding work?
Hmm.
Right.
Where do I put my money where I don't lose it? Like, there's
Yep.
growth, but I don't lose it, because there's a lot of options. You talk about
Yep.
401ks, all of those pension plans are tied to the market. Where the market
Yep.
goes up, it goes
Market
up. But guess
crash.
what? When it crashes, it's gone. That's your
Yep.
retirement plan. Tell me how that makes sense.
Yep.
And also understanding how you pay taxes on that money. So where are we putting this money so that those gains are tax free?
And
You
so
know,
you're going and you're sharing, you're touching on this in the class.
yes. So
Wow.
these are the concepts that I teach in this financial education program, and those who want to dive in a little deeper, then we actually sit down and I do a financial needs analysis, and based off of their goals, because we can go personal, we can also go business. How you
Okay.
are you structured properly? Because some people think that an LLC protects your personal asset, and it doesn't. It's free game. LLC does
Right.
not protect your personal assets. If you get sued, they take it everything. Okay. Um, so you got to make sure that you're well aware of that. How can I incentivize my barbers to stay? Can I offer benefits to 1099s? Can I offer health? Can I offer some sort of life insurance or retirement plan, workers' comp? Do I have some sort of tax advantages like that? Yes. The answer is yes. People think that stability. Oh, look, is there a class? Reach out to me, Lici the Lady Barber, and then we'll go from there. But um, I lost my whole train of thought. What I say?
What was you talking about? He's talking about the LLC, and can we get health benefits to our
And
barbers? Can
is
we?
1090
there
student
employee
independent
retention?
contractors.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the most important thing. Oh, also, and then how you have like good tax deductions, right? How are you paying? How can you reduce the taxes? And also, how can you get funding? Because sometimes you get funding based off of your business structure.
Hmm.
So all of these things are what we should be getting taught, but we don't get taught. We should be getting this class in high school.
Hmm. Yes.
We're not getting that. We should be getting business structure and setup in every trade that we do. We're not getting that. We learn about technique. We learn maybe about customer service. We learn practice, practice, practice.
Mhm.
That's the main. If I give you the reason why we struggle so much as an industry, is that piece.
Yes.
Because if we have that, we start to develop more business minded leaders and less mediocre barbers only paying attention about how blurry a fade will come out.
And that's where we're gonna drop the mic.
Boom.
Mic
Boom.
drop. Lici Lady Barber, we're gonna have to split this up into 2 to 3 different episodes because you are so
That's so
impactful.
much.
Yeah, and these clips are gonna be crazy. A lot of good comments in there. People saying you spitting game, and
Right.
that stuff I didn't know, or thanks for the knowledge. All that
Yes.
is what we like to get out of our interviews. So thank
People
you for
reaching
your
out for the
time.
link.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they want the link. They want to tap in and find out how they can get this class.
Yeah.
The link, just
Um,
reach out to me.
yeah.
Reach out to me, and then I'll share the link. I'll create. I actually did one last week, so but reach out to me and I'll share that information. And also, um, in the topic of black supporting black shows, black events, ethnic, all of that, Hair Education Beauty Summit,
Yes.
May 3rd and
May
4th. It is next year. So barbers are known for competing. They're known for wanting to compete for big prizes. We got a couple of competitions. The first one is the Barber Games. So this is a team battle where first place is $10,000.
Oh damn. Let me pull my
10
clip up
grand
real
is
quick.
first prize. Winners
Oh my
takes all.
goodness.
Oh, wow.
Aside from that, there's the barber battles. First place is 3,000. Second is 1,000, and third is 500. So you're getting cash in all places.
How many on the team?
Oh, it's four on the team.
This is hot.
Okay, so if you guys want to register for that, it's thehebs, THEHEBS.com, or reach out to me. It's great. Last year it was amazing. This year is gonna be even bigger. There's also a bunch of competitions for stylists, but when I tell you that cash prizes is cash prizes, I'm talking about cash money.
Ooh, monies.
Cash money. Okay.
I like the monies.
Great, guys. Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Oh,
Oh,
bless
we're so happy
you.
to have you. Like we've been
And we
trying,
got to
like you
do
said,
this
we've been doing this
again.
for a while. Yeah. So this is take one.
Yeah,
And
part
then we'll
one. Episode
we'll-
one with
episode
Lici.
one.
We
We're gonna
covered a
do-
lot, though. I think we did.
Girl, I feel like we left a lot out too, because girl, you was on fire. You got a battery in you because you've been
Yes.
doing work all day, and then you got this,
And
and
she
you
ready
gave
to
us
go.
all of
And then
you, so
I'm
we
gonna go home
appreciate it.
to my baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
tell
Probably
him we
has to
said
write for
hey.
me.
please.
He's
tell
the
him.
best.
Yeah, he's a great dude, man. We appreciate him when we're around him at the events, the love he shows us. So I tell him that we said hey and
Tell him sweet
He's watching,
dreams.
I
Tell him
think.
sweet. Tell him
yeah,
sweet
sweet
dreams if he
dreams.
ain't on here no more.
Good night and sweet dreams. That's our thing now. We being men of men.
Happy
Tell-
Monday to everybody. And thank you to everybody in the clubhouse who tuned in. Glad y'all got some good gems, man. This is what we do. We build these amazing relationships and then we try to extract all that wonderfulness out of them and share it with you for your journey. So look out for the clips. This is gonna be forever, ever, evergreen content.
Ever,
Man.
ever, forever, ever.
Take us out, T.
Bye.
Bye.